So in this segment, we've got some even more great news from the court. So the UK government broke the law by failing to disclose PPE contracts, the court has ruled. So what this means is the government's taken a big L here, because by handing out the contracts that they gave out, at least certain contracts, they broke the law. And this is the government did some scumbag tactics in order to stop these lawsuits and things like that from the Good Law Project. But big Jolyon Monkham, handing out L's left and right. So we go to the article. The British government broke the law by failing to publish details of billions of pounds of spending on personal protective equipment during the coronavirus pandemic. So the lawsuits are PPE specific. A London court ruled on Friday. As COVID-19 swept across the world last year, Britain scrambled to secure protective gear for medics and nurses on the front line. The Good Law Project, a campaign group, and 3 opposition politicians brought a judicial review seeking information about undisclosed deals with firms that had no medical procurement expertise and in some cases delivered defective equipment. And that's something we've spoken about in the past with companies like Pesfex. And also the one from Sega, but that wasn't fully Sega's fault. Martin Chamberlain, a High Court judge, said the Secretary of State for Health, Matt Hancock, failed to comply with the public procurement law that requires the government to publish contract awards within 30 days. The Secretary of State spent vast quantities of public money on pandemic-related procurements during 2020, Chamberlain said. The public were entitled to see who this money was going to and what it was being spent on and how relevant the contracts were awarded. The Health Ministry said it had needed to move within short timescales and against unparalleled global demands. This has often meant awarding contracts at speed to secure the vital supplies required to protect the NHS, workers and the public. The National Audit Office said last year that there had been a lack of transparency and failure to explain why certain suppliers were chosen and how any conflict of interest was dealt with in procurement deals between March and the end of July, worth about £18 billion. Opposition politicians have accused the government of running a chimocracy with contracts, including the purchase of what turned out to be unusable PPE and appointments made to those with family or business links to those in power. After the ruling, Jolyon Monkham, the founder of the Good Law Project, wrote to the Health Minister asking him to publish the contracts, including those given under a high priority lane set up to assess potential leads from government officials. The judge said the Health Ministry could have avoided running up a legal bill amounting to £207,000 if it had candidly admitted that transparency rules had been broken. And the thing is, this legal bill will be paid by the taxpayer. So not only did they waste government taxpayers' money through giving out these contracts, their legal bill will come out from taxpayer funds. And all they had to do was admit that they messed up in the first place. Because I don't know what kind of punishments are going to be handed out for the government's actions. It doesn't look like there are any. The only thing that can come of this is that more of these contracts start going to court, and the Good Law Project starts picking up momentum, and really gunning for these contracts. But that aside, this is more of a moral victory, I suppose. But it does give opposition parties, looking at you Labour, looking at you Starmer, more ammunition to use against the government next time out. I don't know what the consequences of this ruling are going to be, but it did make me happy knowing that at least someone is still fighting against this government and doing good work. I mean, not someone, obviously a lot of people are, but they've gone through the courts and they've managed to light up the government on these contracts, these PPE contracts, and there are many more contracts to go. There's test and trace ones, there's testing ones. There are more contracts to go through to really go for this government. Even the ones where they were giving out laptops to people through some dodgy company. We're going to be seeing more about these contracts. Hopefully the Good Law Project can keep going with these, but this is some good news and I thought it's worth sharing. Absolutely, it's worth sharing. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Support the Good Law Project and other other kind of don't know the word, other people, organizations who do similar sorts of things, who hold the wealthy and the powerful accountable, because those are some of the best people we have. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.